Level 1. The Admirer. You don't notice him at first. Why would you? He's just a profile pic, a ghost in the algorithm. He likes 3 photos, the beach one, the coffee shop one, the one where you're laughing at something off camera. You get hundreds of likes. You don't even blink. You don't know yet that a like is just a finger on a trigger. He comments once, something small. That place is great, been there myself. You reply because you're polite. That's what you do. You reply to comments. You're friendly. You don't know yet that friendliness is a door, and some people will walk right through it and never leave. A week passes. He comments again. Then again. Always reasonable. Always showing he's been paying attention. Not just to the post, but to the caption, the hashtag, the location tag you forgot to turn off. Your chest doesn't tighten yet. There's no reason for it to. He's just a guy engaged with your content. Then the follow request from a second account. You don't connect them. Different name, different picture, a handful of followers. You accept it because you're growing your page, and that matters right now. The second account likes the things the first account missed. The photos you posted and then deleted. The story you put up for 6 hours at 2 a.m. when you couldn't sleep. He has seen everything. You close the app. You make coffee. You have a full day ahead of you. Somewhere across the city, or maybe not so far, a man opens a private, locked-down Discord server where he's the only member. He pastes in a new screenshot, labels it, files it. The server has your name on it. You post 2 more photos that week. He likes them within 90 seconds each time. Attentive, you think. Not alarming. People are distracted. He happens to be paying attention. That's almost refreshing. You don't think about him again until he sends a DM. Level 2. The Bridge. He finds a way to close the distance. It starts with a mutual. A friend of a friend. Someone you went to college with. The connection is real. That's the part that gets you. He didn't invent it. He mapped it. He ran your name through background check tools, combed your tagged photos, found a wedding picture from 2 years ago where your college roommate is standing next to a guy who follows him back on LinkedIn. He found the thread. Then he pulled it. He shows up at an event. Not your event, a bar night, an open mic, something posted publicly. You're there because a friend invited you. He's there because he saw the event tag on your friend's story 3 days ago and put it in his calendar. You don't know this. You see a familiar username turned into a real face, and your brain files it under coincidence. You talk for 11 minutes. You know this because later, much later, he will tell you. 11 minutes. He counted. He asks for your number. You give it because you're in a group, and it feels rude not to, and he seems normal, and maybe he is normal. Maybe you're overthinking it. Maybe this is just how people meet. So you type the digits into his phone and go back to your friends. That night he texts. Nothing alarming. Good to finally meet you in person. The word finally sits in your stomach like a stone. But you tell yourself you're being dramatic. You don't reply until morning, and when you do, you keep it light. He texts back in 40 seconds. The first week is almost nice. He remembers details, the name of your dog, your job title, the city you grew up in. It feels like being seen, which is not something you get often enough. You talk yourself out of the unease by reminding yourself that attentiveness is rare, that most people half listen while looking at their own phone, that this is probably just what it looks like when someone actually pays attention. You want to believe that, so you do. Level 3, the pressure. Then the vibe shifts. It's not a jump scare, it's a slow burn. He texts at 8 a.m, then noon, then 11 at night when you haven't replied to the afternoon one. Not aggressive, just eager. Just thinking about our conversation. Saw something that reminded me of you. Hope your day's okay. You seem stressed lately. You never told him you were stressed. You scroll back through your messages. You didn't. You check your Instagram stories, a selfie from 4 days ago. You're standing in your kitchen, rubbing your eyes. He wasn't looking at the photo. He was studying your face. Then the Venmo notification. His name, liking a payment you made to your roommate for electricity. In the US, Venmo transactions are public by default. He's been watching your feed. He knows you split bills with someone named Jordan. He knows you ordered pizza on Thursday at 11:14 at night. He knows exactly what kind of Tuesday you had. Your jaw tightens every time your phone lights up. You mention it to a friend, laughing it off a little. She says, just block him. You think about it. You think about what happens if you're wrong, if he really is just awkward, and you've turned a lonely guy into a monster. You don't want to be that person. So you soften your replies. Short, friendly, but distant. You think you're managing it. He interprets the short replies as shyness. He decides to try harder. He sends a gift. Your actual workplace, your actual name on the label. A book, a candle. Something that says, I listen and I know where you work, in the same breath. You stand in the lobby holding the package, and your coworker asks who sent it, and you say a friend, and you go to the bathroom and sit in a stall for a few minutes, just breathing. Psychologists call this fixation, the point where admiration hardens into a project, something fixed, something that won't take no for an answer. You don't know the term yet. You just know your hands are shaking, and you're not sure when that started. Level 4, the show. He's outside your building. Not waiting, just there. Standing near the entrance, looking at his phone. Completely still, in the way people are still when they're performing stillness. You see him from across the street, and something cold moves through your chest before your eyes even finish processing who it is. Your feet slow down without you deciding to slow down. He looks up. He waves. He smiles like this is normal. I was in the neighborhood. Easy. Practiced. Thought I'd see if you wanted to grab coffee. Your palms are wet. Your voice comes out steady because you've learned, somewhere along the way, without anyone teaching you, that you cannot show fear. That your job right now is to not escalate. You say you're busy. He nods like he expected that. He says, maybe next time. He leaves. You stand on the street until he rounds the corner. Then you go inside, lock the door, and sit on the floor with your back against it. Your hands won't stop shaking. You call your friend. You're not laughing this time. You check your bag first, then your coat pocket, then the back seat of your car later, because you've read about AirTags, about how they're the size of a quarter, about how someone can drop one in your bag at a bar and track you for weeks before you find it. You don't know if he did. You don't know if that's paranoia or pattern recognition anymore. The line between the two has blurred. You look up restraining order and close the tab. You check location permissions on every app. You find 3 you forgot were on, including the shared location pin in Apple Maps you turned on for a road trip 8 months ago and never disabled. He texts the next morning. Did you get home okay? Looked like you were in a hurry. You were already inside before he sent that. And he still watched. You stare at the message for a long time. You don't reply. He sends 2 more by noon. In this country, you're not a victim until there's blood on the floor. Until then, he's just a citizen on a public sidewalk. The officer on the phone uses the word unfortunately 3 times in 4 minutes. The Ring camera above your door catches nothing actionable. Level 5, no safe room. You burned your SIM and got a new one. Doesn't matter. He paid $20 to a data broker and bought your whole life in a PDF. New number, previous addresses, credit score, your mom's maiden name. You found the site. It's called Spokio. It's legal. It's running right now, and for anyone willing to search, you are completely transparent. The restraining order is in process. Your lawyer says these things take time. Time is the one thing you don't have. Different routes now, different hours, different coffee shop. You've told your workplace, you've told your building. You sit with your back to the wall in restaurants, something you used to find ridiculous in movies. You understand it now. Your friends are tired. Not of you, that's what they say, but you hear the slight pause before they pick up. You're tired too. Tired in a way sleep doesn't reach. A background hum that runs constantly, even when nothing is happening. Especially when nothing is happening. Because nothing happening just means you haven't spotted him yet. 46% of stalking victims report symptoms consistent with post-traumatic stress. 3 a.m, phone in a dark room. You closed the tab and sat there. The number felt too high and not surprising at all. He hasn't done anything illegal. Nobody will say it out loud, but everyone almost says it. He sends messages. He stands on public streets. He knows your number, your address, your Sunday morning coffee shop, your roommate's name, what you ordered for dinner last Thursday. None of that is a crime. The law is built around what people do, not what they know, not what they collect. You look out the window before you open the blinds. Every morning. Automatic. You lock the car door before you buckle. You scan every platform, every lobby, every parking lot. You've gotten good at the particular stillness, the phone held just slightly wrong, the angle of a head that isn't quite looking at you, but isn't quite not. Your therapist says hypervigilance is the mind's way of protecting what the body couldn't. She says it like a comfort. You nod. You already scanned the parking lot on the way in. You check the window again on the way out of her office. The street looks empty. You give it 5 seconds anyway. He's out there right now, and you already looked.